One thing that I think is interesting about it is how um how little we're aware of how common it actually is. So what I mean by that is people are talking about it as if it's this end of the world sort of apocalyptic thing. It's no more apocalyptic than the occasional hurricane, the occasional earthquake that we get here as well. Um yes, this is vastly more common in other parts of the country and the world, particularly the West Coast. I mean, this is like a regular occurrence over there. Um, but it's not some indicator of global warming, climate change, man-made detritus, or whatever you want to call it. This is purely just a naturally occurring thing. Let's just calm down. It's not a conspiracy. Canada's having some wildfires. The way the jet stream, or more commonly spoken, how the wind blows. Um, um, that's just how it is. It's just the way it is, and I think as a as a I I don't know how to say this. As a country, as a group, we need to be more uh just accepting of the occasional, hey, you know what? This stuff sometimes happens. Instead of looking for a conspiracy, instead of looking for a reason, instead of looking for, some nefarious man-made scandal, um we need to remember that sometimes random stuff happens. Sometimes weird stuff happens. Doesn't mean we caused it. Doesn't mean anything caused it. The world does what it does. Nature does what it does sometimes. And we have to be willing and able to accept that. That's all. And I think that this is a bigger, more pervasive thing with this smog going around the Northeast right now. But it's a lesson in sports too. Well, what's the lesson? Well, the lesson is when a call goes against you, when a call changes a betting line, when a missed free throw changes a betting line, or when anything, you could be millions of examples of this. When anything happens, it should never be our first instinct to say, "Oh, see the gamblers," or "See, this," or "See, the league is setting that," or "The league wants this," or "The outcome is supposed to be that, so the league did this." Like, the refs did that. They're in collusion with that. Like, there's too much of that nonsense, and we see it not just in sports. We see it in, other places as well. We see it in society. We see it in politics. We see it in business. We see it all over the place. People are looking for the boogeyman under their bed. They're looking for a reason when a lot of times things just work out a certain way because they do. You know, I always say this: control what you can control and don't worry about the rest. And in a lot of cases, you can't really control anything. You can't do anything about the outcome of a sporting event unless you're playing in it, coaching in it, whatever. You can't do anything really about Canada having wildfires that are now kind of burning down. The smog from that, the smoke from that is sort of making its way down the coastline. You can't do anything about that. It affects you more directly, perhaps, than a sports game outcome, but you still can't do anything about it. And so why automatically assign conspiracy? Why automatically assign nefariousness? It's the same with a referee making a call. There's no reason to automatically assign these negative connotations to this. We should be very much automatically thinking, okay, things happen. Or maybe that was a good call. Or God forbid, the ref knows more than we do. Like, let's let's get back to being a little bit more positive, a little bit more willing to give the benefit of the doubt. We're not all knowing. None of us are. And a ref who has trained for years to do exactly what he's there doing and continuously is engrossed in the rules and the application of them and is trained to make those calls on the spot, even if they get something wrong, uh, according to you, according to television, you have to remember that they are making that call sight unseen. They are making that call immediately at that moment. They don't have the luxury of frame by frame replay to make the call. Now they use that frame by frame replay sometimes to review a call, but they're not seeing it that way when they call it. So we have to be more understanding of that. And I think we also have to be more understanding of the fact that these guys are part professional, part judge, and part peacekeeper. I mean, they have a very difficult job. And I think it's time we gave them some slack on it. I really do. By the way, if you have not been paying attention to the golf situation, this merger with the PGA, Live, and that third tour, this is gonna, I think, cause a lot of problems. I think it's gonna cause a lot of ruffle a lot of feathers, and I think it's gonna cause a lot of issues. And there's a lot of people who stood up for the tour who are now probably gonna get uh kind of screwed with what they will and won't get paid. There is a lot of, I think, likelihood that the Saudis who own Live, of course, will now exert more direct control over the PGA Tour, which is an American entity, of course, than simply a external, non-empowered entity that maybe has money involved, which, that is the case with a lot of teams around the country. Foreign money, not necessarily Saudi money, but I'm sure sometimes it is Saudi money, but just foreign money being invested is, it's an international economy. But the problem is this: I'm not going to sit here and say that I fully trust the Saudis because I don't. But in the interest of my own advice, we're going to let it play out and see how it goes. But I will say this: if there's one game that could be leveraged more effectively than any other to influence or at least have an audience with the movers and shakers of America high society, American business class, American politicians, it's definitely golf. I mean, that game is as much a sales boardroom oftentimes as a golf course. It really is. I mean, people use golf to make deals all the time. People use golf to make all kinds of arrangements, all kinds of things. It's just the way it is. And I wonder, with this new blended league, what type of influence those that group will have. I'm just, well, and we may never know. But again, it's something to watch. And I like to let things play out. I like to give everything the benefit of the doubt. And I like to take things at face value. Vince Lombardi had a policy with his players that I totally agree with, where anytime he got a report that this guy was breaking curfew here or this guy was doing something there, he would ask the player about it and take whatever the player said at face value unless he had irrefutable truth, irrefutable facts to the contrary. And that is the way you build trust in and with anything or anybody. You take it at face value and you just accept it as such until such a time that you have irrefutable proof to the contrary. And if you don't get that, then you're a much happier person this way than you would be if you just never did that. I mean, think about all the people that follow sports who don't approach sports that way, who are always chasing the next scandalous take or the next rumor or the next this or the next that. Like, think of how less happy they are than someone that just takes something at face value. This LeBron James to Dallas thing, for example. The text came out today, supposedly, that after Kyrie asked LeBron to join Dallas, LeBron says, "I'll think about it." Oh my goodness, LeBron's considering Dallas, so what's going to be this? And this does this to his legacy, and now he's played with all these great players, and blah, 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 Jordan this, and he would never that. People, he said in a text to a friend, "I'll think about it." Now, how many times have you told a friend, "I'll think about it," when you already had your mind made up? I'm not doing that. But you just didn't want to say that. We've all done that 1,000 times. Or we've all been like, you know what? I'll think about it, and really thought about it. But then we were like, I don't think so. Like, let's just take things at face value and let them play out. Like, we don't have to go crazy. We could talk about it. We can even discuss hypothetically what it would look like for LeBron to be here, to be in Dallas, and what that would mean. But we don't have to go nuts. We don't have to automatically now ascribe LeBron to a lower status because, hey, we're going to go, he's going to play with Luka now, and he's going to play with Kyrie a second time, and, Jordan didn't switch teams. And this isn't the 90s, thankfully. It's a much better, much more competitive decade with much better players. And LeBron has done something that no other great player has done, which is go to 3 different teams and win at each stop. So let's just enjoy the ride. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We got a lot more to get to. We got a number of interviews today. We got our question of the day. A lot of stuff going on. It's the Gary Ayd Show, just getting started here on The Cave.
Are you like me? You have health insurance, but you don't have dental insurance. Do you need to get to the dentist right away? Maybe you need an implant or some other major service. Well, I found a dental insurance plan that's just right for you. It's called Spirit Dental. Spirit Dental offers a $100 lifetime deductible, a huge network of dentists. And here's the best part. There's no waiting periods. Yeah, that means you can call right now and have real dental insurance for you and your family tomorrow and get that immediate coverage you want. Spirit Dental has plans for just a few dollars a day, up to $5,000 annual maximum, and coverage for implants. Whatever age you are, the dental insurance you need is a free phone call away. Now don't wait, and be sure to ask about Spirit's vision plan. Here's the number: 800-631-9229. 800-631-9229. That's 800-631-9229.
Hey friend, life happens and you need money. What do? You call the special toll-free number we're about to give you. We will send you a link to your phone with details on how you can loan up to $5,000. Couldn't you use $5,000 to pay for your rent? pay grocery bills, get your car repaired, or whatever you need. It's up to you. We don't care. We're just here to lend you the money. And we'll lend people money with good, bad, or no credit at all. Of course, some terms and conditions apply, and you'll see those on the link we're going to send you. So if you need up to $5,000 maybe as soon as the next business day, call this number right now. We will text you a free link with details.
Paid for by Money Mutual. Call 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. That's 800-586-7112.
The NFL is going to test drive an enhanced touchback rule. Back in 1 minute with your sports question of the day.
I've got a unique vacation idea for you that's right here in the United States. If you're ready for a vacation that's fun and downright affordable, listen up. It's driving distance for many of you, so no planes, no airline delays, no hassles. It's Branson, Missouri, the entertainment capital of the Midwest. Live music for everyone. Branson has 3 beautiful, enormous lakes, water attractions, live shows, great food, and tons of entertainment. It's a perfect vacation for you and your family, or if you're retired and you want to have a great time. And you can stay in Branson for as low as $99 a night. Please understand, this is not a timeshare offer. It's a real vacation for as little as $99 a night. We've got a free vacation guide we want to send you right now. All you have to do is call for complete details. Get your free Branson, Missouri guide right now by calling this number.
800-284-0523. 800-284-0523. 800-284-0523. That's 800-284-0523.
NFL owners have approved a 1-year trial of an enhanced touchback rule that will give the receiving team the ball at its own 25 with a fair catch of a kickoff anywhere behind that line. The league reports that incentivizing the fair catch will reduce the return rate for kickoffs in 2023 to 31%, down from 38% in 2022. The NFL predicts the rule will lead to a 15% reduction in the rate of concussions. Question: do you think the kickoff is or is not becoming irrelevant?
Yeah, it's been irrelevant. The kickoff is, unfortunately, the way they've kind of built this league now is kickoffs have no value. They have no discernible place in the game on a regular play-by-play basis. It's unusual when you have more than 1 or 2 in a game. And it's frustrating. I think we actually did this question before. I probably forgot to load today's Wednesday's question, so that's my fault. We'll do another one later in the program. We got one of our OC Bomber players of the week coming up in just a couple of minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and turn our attention to that. Like I said, we'll do another question of the day later in the show. This was my fault. We did this one already, but just to answer it real quick again for those that might not have heard it, I think the kickoffs are basically irrelevant. I wish they weren't. I love them. I love them to death. They were one of the most exciting parts of football, and it's a shame that they are no longer part of the regular every day, every game, play after play rotation. I mean, you get, like I said, 1 a game if you're lucky. Let's just do away with it instead of this reminds me of sending out a racehorse that has a broken leg and you're making it run. Just put the animal down. Let's just put this thing out of its misery. Let's stop trotting out a diminished version of the kickoff. If we're not going to let it be what it really is and was meant to be, let's just not have it. I think it's criminal because it destroys, and I'm very disappointed with the players union. This is the last thing I'll say on this. I'm very disappointed with the players union for not fighting for it more because they a third of the players, a third of their constituents, this is the part of the game where they make or made their livelihood. Think of how many players basically don't have jobs anymore. Why would I pay a group of special teamers, let alone the glamour players of the special teams units, the kick returners, the punt returners? Why would I pay those guys when I could, 80%, 90% of the time, it's just going to be a fair catch or out of the end zone? Why would I not just use a random backup or random backups for the guys that actually run down the field? It's going to destroy, and it already has destroyed a lot of jobs. And the whole reason for any kind of union is to preserve jobs, to ideally add jobs and improve the pay of those jobs. Not fighting for the existence of the part of the game that necessitates those jobs, in my opinion, is a direct dereliction of duty by the players' union. Now, people will say, well, they are fighting for it. That's why they still have it. They have to just compromise. No, you don't still have it. It's still in the game, at least on paper. But no one's going to pay a return guy good money. You can't make a big enough difference. There'll never be another, unless they change the rules back, there'll never be another Devin Hester. There'll never be a Dante Hall. There'll never be a Brian Mitchell. You're never going to pay. Those guys got paid for a number of years, pretty good money, to basically be return guys. You're not going to do that anymore. So there's just the most obvious one right there. And how many Steve Taskers won't have jobs in the future? How many guys who basically are third stringers now basically don't ever get to really do anything except do essentially a 60-yard wind sprint? Because those were jobs that are now less valuable. You're not going to pay extra like you might have in the past. So it's a definite dereliction of duty from the union as far as I'm concerned. All right, let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back. Our next segment, we'll talk to Aver Bonney of the OC Bombers. She's one of our players of the week. That's next, the Gary Ayd Show here on The Cave.
Coffee Lovers Middletown is now officially home to the home run of our favorite beverage, Days Coffee. Days' patented blend contains approximately 85% less caffeine than other coffees, which makes it better for you, yet unlike decaf coffee, still gives you that great pickup and tastes amazing. Formulated by a retired cancer pathologist, Dr. Grant Lee, Days Coffee is fermented with a patented enzyme that until now required a complex and thus expensive sourcing and production process. With Dr. Lee's formulation, this enzyme's great health benefits can now be brought to your cup quicker, easier, and cheaper than ever before. Here's how you get a hold of this game-changing cup of joe. Go over to radioonlydeals.com and get a $4 gift certificate to Days Coffee for just $2. That's radioonlydeals.com to buy your single-use digital gift certificate for Days Coffee. Radioonlydeals.com. That's radioonlydeals.com. Enjoy the preferred coffee of the Gary Ayd Show. Enjoy Days Coffee.
Do you own a timeshare? Well, face the facts. You made a mistake. You made a bad purchase. A timeshare is not an investment. It's a money pit that continues forever. If you use your timeshare, that's great. But if you don't, and you want to legally get out of your contract, call my friends right now at the Timeshare Exit Hotline. They're an experienced team of lawyers who help good people like you get out of a timeshare contract that they just don't want. Don't throw away your money on maintenance fees. Use it for things you really want. We can help you end your timeshare contract and stop the money drain immediately. If you are ready to move on with your timeshare, call our team right now.
Cancel your timeshare now with a free call. 800-741-9557. 800-741-9557. 800-741-9557. That's 800-741-9557. 5857. If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. Ouch! Well, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers. If you administer insulin 3 or more times per day or use an insulin pump, call now and learn how a CGM can help you.
Painless. No more pricking my finger.
No finger pricks.
Convenience. They delivered it free and they took care of all the paperwork.
You can reduce pain right away. Plus, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you spend more time in range. And if you have insurance, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Call now and get free shipping of your new CGM. Plus, we'll bill your insurance for you. 800-826-5884. 800-826-5884. 800-826-5884. That's 800-826-5884.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Gary Ayd Show here on The Cave, and we are joined now by one of our OC Bomber players of the week, Ava Bonney. Hello, Ava. How are you? Oh, helps to hit the button. Hello, Ava. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for joining us. First of all, congratulations. And so tell me, when did you first start playing softball?
I probably started playing softball around the age 5.
Age 5. Okay. And you are 11 now, 12?
12.
You're 12. Okay. And what positions do you play?
I mainly play second base.
Okay, that's my position too. That's where I played when I played baseball. What's your favorite part about softball? Is it fielding, hitting, running? Like, what do you like the best about it?
I like hitting the best, I think,
Okay.
because it's like a lot of teamwork as well, because I think it's also fun, because like it's almost like you could get in a situation where it's like bases loaded, and then when you make like a good hit or something.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's do you bat lefty or righty?
Righty.
You throw righty too?
Yes.
Cool. Which part of the game do you find you spend the most time practicing, and which part maybe comes easiest to you?
The easiest that comes is fielding. And the hardest to me that I spend the most time on working on is hitting.
And that makes a lot of sense. But it's your favorite part, even though it's the hardest.
Yes.
Awesome. What's your favorite part about being with the Bombers? Well, first of all, how long have you been playing with the Bombers?
Probably around 3 years.
3 years. Okay. And what's your favorite part about playing with the Bombers, about being part of that team?
I think the teamwork, because I have really awesome teammates. And I love my coach, Coach Danielle.
Yeah,
She's really fun.
Yeah, Danielle's great. Have you made a lot of new friends since you've been on the Bombers?
Yeah, I'm the only one from Monroe Woodbury, and all my other teammates are from different districts. And it's a lot of fun because I've made new friends, and then when I play them in like Little League or All Stars, it's a lot of fun to verse them.
Yeah, that's really cool. So a lot of your teammates, all your other teammates are from probably what, like Middletown and Minnesota, Warwick, yeah.
Goshen.
That's cool. Where have you gone that you remember, like maybe a place that you enjoyed playing at, like a place you traveled to with the Bombers?
It was a lot of fun in Kentucky. We went to a national tournament there. We didn't do the best, but it was a lot of fun hanging out with my teammates.
That was what, last year?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. What about your favorite memory, whether it's a game or a play or an at bat? Like, do you have a favorite memory from playing softball over the years?
Actually, my favorite memory is this year when we were in the championship for a tournament, and we were versing this team that we have got mercied by, and we were in the championship with them, and they beat us pretty bad before, and we actually ended up winning.
Also, it's kind of a little bit of revenge then.
Yes.
Awesome. Do you remember how you played in that game or anything about your own game?
I played in that game. I got 2 hits, and then I grounded every ball that was hit to me and caught every ball that was hit to me.
Awesome. That's so cool. What would you say is the most important thing to do when you're playing second base?
To block anything that comes like in between, either it's like first or second, to block it so it doesn't get past the infield.
Keep everything in front of you. Very good.
Yeah.
And my last question for you is, who's your favorite softball or baseball player?
I have a few favorites, but one I love watching is Montana Fouts because she's really good at pitching, and I think she's had 4 perfect games pitching.
Wow. That is a lot. Who does she pitch for?
Alabama.
Alabama. Okay. Very, very good. Have you pitched before?
Yes, I do a little bit of pitching as well.
And you're a right-handed pitcher too?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, when's your next tournament? When are you guys playing next?
Our next tournament is like early July, and then we have one more end of July, and that's it.
So you got 2 more to go.
Yeah.
And you'll be practicing and playing maybe some league games, I guess, between now and then?
We aren't doing a league right now, but last fall we did do a league.
Okay.
But right now we're not doing a league.
So just practice then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, congratulations. Enjoy the last couple tournaments this year. And thanks for joining us today, okay?
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. That is Ava Bonney. This is the Gary Ayd Show. Back after this here on The Cave.
Are you like me? You have health insurance, but you don't have dental insurance. Do you need to get to the dentist right away? Maybe you need an implant or some other major service. Well, I found a dental insurance plan that's just right for you. It's called Spirit Dental. Spirit Dental offers a $100 lifetime deductible, a huge network of dentists. And here's the best part. There's no waiting periods. Yeah, that means you can call right now and have real dental insurance for you and your family tomorrow and get that immediate coverage you want. Spirit Dental has plans for just a few dollars a day, up to $5,000 annual maximum, and coverage for implants. Whatever age you are, the dental insurance you need is a free phone call away. Now don't wait, and be sure to ask about Spirit's vision plan. Here's the number: 800-631-9229. 800-631-9229. That's 800-631-9229.
Hey friend, life happens and you need money. What do? You call the special toll-free number we're about to give you. We will send you a link to your phone with details on how you can loan up to $5,000. Couldn't you use $5,000 to pay for your rent, pay grocery bills, get your car repaired, or whatever you need? It's up to you. We don't care. We're just here to lend you the money. And we'll lend people money with good, bad, or no credit at all. Of course, some terms and conditions apply, and you'll see those on the link we're going to send you. So if you need up to $5,000 maybe as soon as the next business day, call this number right now. We will text you a free link with details.
Paid for by Money Mutual. Call 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. That's 800-586-7112.
Los Angeles is getting sued for the actions of an angel in the outfield. I am KO, back in 1 minute with your sports question of the day.
Would you like to hear better for as little as 10 cents a day? Now you can with the all-new Audion hearing aids. The average hearing aid lasts about 3 years. Ours, at only $99 a pair, means you're paying as little as 10 cents a day to hear better. And to make things even better, we'll give you a 45-day money-back guarantee. Skip the doctor and get hearing aids delivered straight to your door. We've eliminated all the middlemen to offer you a factory direct price of only $99 a pair. Join over 300,000 people just like you who took advantage of our 45-day trial offer. Now you can hear better too for just 10 cents a day. Call now and order your $99 pair of Audion hearing aids with a 45-day money-back guarantee. Plus, get free 3 to 5 day shipping.
800-226-1471. 800-226-1471. 800-226-1471. That's 800-226-1471.
MLB tickets come with a disclaimer stating that the team is not liable for any injuries fans sustain during a game. But that warning isn't stopping David Mermelstein from suing the Angels after he was struck in the eye by a souvenir ball during one of LA's games last year. As a result of the incident, Mermelstein has unfortunately lost all sight in the injured eye. Question for baseball fans. When you were little, were you or were you not taught that one should never take their eye off of the ball?
Oh man, I don't know if she meant for the double meaning there or like the alliteration. Might be a little too soon. But I gotta tell you though, I can't. I I mean, this is bad. It really is bad. I feel for the guy. I mean, that's obviously all potential alliteration there aside. That's a bad injury. Obviously, losing sight in your eye in one eye is life changing, of course. Uh, I can't imagine he'll win this suit. I mean, as KO said, those disclaimers are on tickets, but also just thinking about it sort of logically. I mean, why, like, why would the team take permanent full responsibility for all potential injuries to all potential fans every year and every game for something that, is pretty foreseeable of a possibility to happen? It's rare, thankfully. But this is why me personally, I like to sit behind those nets. I love those nets. I actually think they should be around most of the or maybe even the whole field, honestly. I know it's different. I know it's not visually as, I guess, pure, and it's not traditional, and there would be something lost in that. I don't want to marginalize or minimize that in any way. But also acknowledging the reality of human behavior, even if the contracts or the disclaimers or whatever you say, the legalese of it is rock solid for the teams. I think it probably is. And a suit like this could never go against them. Even if that's the case, I think it would be the right thing to do for the by the teams to protect the fans a bit from from themselves here a little bit with more of that netting. I really do believe that, because people are going to talk to the person next to them. They are going to look at their phone probably incessantly. They are going to lose the ball in the sun. They are just going to lose the sight of the ball, period. I've done that a million times, even when I am paying attention. It's just going to happen. You're not there. You're not a robot. You're not just lasered in on the ball every pitch for 3 whatever hours. You're enjoying an entire experience, the sights, the smells. You're looking at the concession guy working the crowd. You're having a quick conversation with the person next to you or behind you or whatever. You look down at your phone for something. You're talking to the person 3 rows up, whatever it is. And you shouldn't feel pulled not to do that stuff. All of that is part of the excitement of it all. It's part of the enjoyment of it. So anyway, I just think that in order to pretty much prevent this from ever happening again, I think it makes a lot of sense to simply put the netting up. I go to a lot of Renegades games. I sit down the baselines usually, or sometimes directly behind home plate, and I'm always by that netting, and it gives me a level of reassurance and a feeling of safety that I wouldn't have otherwise. It would actually deter me from sitting in those seats, even though they're the best around in the stadium, because that's where those foul balls, those liners come. I am surprised. I will say one thing about this particular story. It is kind of surprising that this happened in the outfield. Normally, by the time it gets to the outfield, the ball is broken. It's hit the ground. It's maybe hit someone else's hands, whatever. And it's not as sharp. I'm surprised the ball hit to the outfield caused this type of injury. This sounds more like something that you would expect along one of the baselines. Or perhaps it was the short outfield. I guess it wasn't. I'm envisioning, when I say outfield, I'm envisioning, back like right field, center field, left field, like back by the wall. This could conceivably be the outfield, as in like down the baseline outfield. That's, I guess, very possible too. Maybe even probable. So that's true now that I think about it. But in any event, I personally would be in favor of some netting. I really would be. I just feel better when I'm sitting at a game with that there than when I'm not. I really just do. And there you have it. We got a lot of other stuff to get to the rest of the show. We got a few more guests to bring on. We have Rich Monda of the Bombers and his sons. We have another guest, Charlotte, to join us of the OC Bombers. So we got that coming up in the second hour. Of course, we got to talk some NBA. We're also going to talk some Mets and Yankees. Aaron Judge is out. Let's find out what this is all about for the Yankees. So, and then we'll do some NBA as well. It's the Gary Ayd Show. Back after this here on The Cave.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. Plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-370-2460. 800-370-2460. 800-370-2460. That's 800-370-2460.
Come on, you watch the news. Be prepared to pay more taxes. Then if you owe back taxes or haven't filed in a few years, get ready. The IRS, the largest collection agency in the world, will be coming after you. With the power to collect taxes by any means they want to. Hey, they can freeze your bank account, your passport, even padlock your business. Oh, good times. Look, if the IRS claims you owe them $5,000 or more in back taxes and they're coming after you, don't panic. Call my friends at Get a Tax Lawyer first. Their job is to negotiate with the IRS and save you money. They're experts at it. That's all they do, and you can trust them. In some cases, they have reduced a $50,000 tax bill to less than $1,000. If you owe the IRS $5,000 or more in back taxes, call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-649-8617. 800-649-8617. 800-649-8617. That's 800-649-8617.
Coffee Lovers Middletown is now officially home to the home run of our favorite beverage, Days Coffee. Days' patented blend contains approximately 85% less caffeine than other coffees, which makes it better for you, yet unlike decaf coffee, still gives you that great pickup and tastes amazing. Formulated by a retired cancer pathologist, Dr. Grant Lee, Days Coffee is fermented with a patented enzyme that until now required a complex and thus expensive sourcing and production process. With Dr. Lee's formulation, this enzyme's great health benefits can now be brought to your cup quicker, easier, and cheaper than ever before. Here's how you get a hold of this game-changing cup of joe. Go over to radioonlydeals.com and get a $4 gift certificate to Dave's Coffee for just $2. That's radioonlydeals.com to buy your single-use digital gift certificate for Dave's Coffee. Radioonlydeals.com. That's radioonlydeals.com. Enjoy the preferred coffee of the Gary Ayd Show. Enjoy Dave's Coffee.
All righty, we're back here on the Gary Ayd Show. Great to have you aboard. And got a couple minutes left in the hour. One thing that I did want to say about this whole LIV and Live Golf and PGA Tour merger, it goes to show you in corporate America, in your professional life, loyalty needs to be to you and not just your selfish interests, but your viability, professional viability in your chosen field. Because Rory McIlroy really stuck his neck out and defended the PGA, and now they're basically selling him out. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm obviously still going to get to play golf and whatever. I'm not saying he's going to be like on the streets, but what I am saying is now he's going to have to play for, in some respect, a blended version of the very thing he was defending the PGA against. And he's not alone in that. So sticking out your neck, what I'm getting at is sticking out your neck to defend a company that you don't own is not a good idea, in my opinion. The very concept of being a, quote, company man or a company woman is just not a good idea. You need to be loyal to your friends, your family, your God, and your own core beliefs and morals and ethics. And then you need to be loyal to your own interests. And your interests are, as a professional, your ability to continue to get future work. That's it. Being loyal to a company is foolhardy. When I hear people say, I've been with this car insurance company for 30 years. I'm sorry. You never shopped? You never found a better deal in 30 years? I got to tell you, I've probably changed car insurance companies at least half a dozen times in the last 10 years. I don't give these people any loyalty. It's a commodity. It's all the same to me. I don't care. It's State Farm or Geico or Progressive or whoever else. And people that are loyal to companies, I really think they're oftentimes they hurt themselves much more than they realize by doing that. Now, I understand companies are made up of people, and if you work with a great boss or great colleagues, you become loyal to those people. And humans are, comfortable with routine. We're homeostatic beings, which means homeostasis, which is essentially the body's series of processes that make our day-to-day, minute-to-minute existence feel stable and consistent. And that's the body's biological ultimate goal, is homeostasis or stability, to use a simpler word. That right there is where a lot of people end up becoming loyal to a company. It's not because they're loyal to the company as much as they are resistant to wanting to upend their own professional homeostasis. And that I understand. I really do. Because I'm like that too. I mean, we all are to a degree or another. But it is often to our own detriment. I mean, how many of you have had an opportunity where you were at a job and you knew the company's not doing well? There's probably gonna be layoffs. You just got that feeling. But looking for work is hard. Interviewing, you gotta learn new people, new boss. Maybe it's a new schedule. You gotta go to a new location for work, whatever. It's just, it's easier to just like, oh, I'll just wait to see what happens. And then you're caught flat footed. You're out of a job. And now what? Right. So, all that to say, getting back to the Live and PGA Tour thing, never be too publicly defensive of a company unless you own it. It doesn't always work in your favor. That's just something to keep in mind. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We got NBA hour 2, we got Smash, we got Bombers. We got a lot of stuff. Second hour of the show is right around the corner. This is the Gary Ayd Show. Back after this here on The Cave. Alrighty, hour 2 of the Gary Ayd Show here on The Cave, cavetalkradio.com and the Cave Talk Radio app. It's great to have you aboard, Gary Ayd with you. And we got a lot to get into this hour. We're going to have Rich Monda and his sons join us from the OC Smash. We are going to have Charlotte join us from the Bombers. And we're going to talk some NBA, which we're going to start with right now. First things first. As I take a swig of my drink. That's by the way, a behind this scenes kind of secret in radio. All of us have terrible timing. What do I mean by that? We all like to eat. Of course. We all want to eat and drink during the show, so we try to do this like in between commercials, and it's terrible. We're like animals. We just like drink our food and we evaporate our drink, it feels like sometimes. You know, so sometimes you miscalculate. Anyway, let's talk some NBA. So tonight's game 3 between the Nuggets and the Heat. First game in Miami. Of course, the Heat won game 2 by 3 points, 111-108. Nuggets won game 1 more convincingly. I gotta tell you something. The more I watch him, the more I am absolutely convinced beyond any doubt that Nikola Jokic is the single best player in the entire NBA. And it's not even really that close. I mean, maybe Giannis is close, but this guy and maybe Luka and possibly Embiid. There's like 4 guys, but Jokic is the best. I mean, he played all of game, like I would say 70% of game 2. He played basically on his own offensively. Now, I know Murray had 18 points on 7 of 15. It's not a terrible stat line, but you need a lot more from Jamal Murray. You need 25, 30, right? 24, 23. You need 20-something or 30-something. He's too good to be in the teens. That's a win for Miami, an unqualified win. Now, Jokic had 41, and like I said, for a huge chunk of game 2, was pretty much the only thing with a pulse for Denver. Michael Porter Jr. was invisible. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope did not have a good game. You didn't see much from Bruce Brown. There was just not a lot to like if you're a Nuggets fan in this game, and you still almost won. Miami got really good performances from everyone, except for Caleb Martin, who was sick. But everyone else played very well. And they just barely squeaked it out. And so I know Miami keeps winning, and I know my doubting is like running out of time. They have 3 wins and they won the whole thing. I realize that. But I just don't see all that great of a team when I watch them. I don't. I see a great player in Jimmy Butler. There's a lot of players better than him. Not a lot, but more than a couple. It's not like 3 or 4 like I was naming with Jokic that are even on his level. There's at least 7 to 10 guys, maybe more in the NBA, probably more, that I would take before Jimmy Butler. But he's a great player. And then there's a bunch of guys that are, they're nice players. They fit their role and things are going good right now. I'm not impressed. I'm not. Duncan Robinson's a nice shooter. Caleb Martin and Gabe Vincent are nice players. The only other guy on this team that really impresses me that's playing right now is Bam Adebayo. This is an excellent player. This is an all-star. Yes. But Denver's just better. Jokic is so much better than Butler. Jokic is so much better than anyone on Miami. I think he's better than anyone in the NBA. I mean, he can just get whatever he wants whenever he wants it. That includes passing. That includes scoring. It includes everything. Jokic is a beast. I just don't see Miami as their equal. I think Denver wins tonight, and I wouldn't even be surprised if it was a blowout. I'm sticking with this Miami's not impressing me theme right to the end here. Even like I said the other day, even if they win, see, I don't let results or outcomes color what my eyes tell me. I trust my eyes. I trust the eye test. I said this after whatever year it was when the Hawks went to the conference finals. I said, this isn't even a playoff team. And they weren't the next couple of years. They barely made the playoffs this year. This is not a great team in Miami. What you saw during the regular season, the record they had, being right around 500, a couple games one direction or another, that is what they are. Maybe they're a little better than that. They did have a lot of injuries this year. So maybe they're a little better than that. But I could even give them 50 wins. So they're a solid team. They are not a great team by any stretch of the imagination. They are not the best team in the NBA this year by any stretch of the imagination. They weren't even the best team in their own conference. And yes, they're here. But outcomes of series do not overrule, to me, the aggregate outcome of 4 months of work. They just don't. See, to me, with rare exception, and it does happen, with some exception, the team with the best record is the best team in any given year, especially in baseball, basketball, and hockey, when you play so many games. Football is a little different. Football, everything about football is a crapshoot, to be honest with you, because of how short the season is. But even with football, generally speaking, the eye test will tell you who the best teams are. No one, no matter what the records were, no one was going to tell you that the Chiefs weren't the best team and mean it, unless they were just a homer for someone else. In basketball, baseball, and football, though, basketball, baseball, and hockey, though, the number of wins you have in the regular season, to me, is the biggest indicator of your aggregate average aptitude, not who wins in the playoffs. I think it's so funny too that in the era of analytics, in the era of big data, we have this really almost Neanderthalish collective obsession with anointing the winner of a small sample size, short series, the greatest, best team for that year. And we have this obsession as a media culture, as a sports culture, of so valuing that at the expense, or maybe the better word is exclusion, of everything else, except when it's not convenient. The Jordan Knights are the perfect example of this. Oh, well, 6 is bigger than 4, or 6 is bigger than 5. Okay. That takes all context, of course, as a reference to the championships of Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe. That takes all context out of it. It takes all nuance out of it. And oh, by the way, and this is where it's inconsistent, well, then you would clearly say, as the Jordan guy who says 6 is better than 5, 6 is better than 4. Okay, well, then you would clearly say Bill Russell is twice as good as Michael Jordan, right? Because he had 11. That's almost twice as big as 6, a little less. Oh, no, you wouldn't say that? Oh, why not? Oh, because the eye test would tell you that's preposterous to say. Exactly. Trust your eyes, people. It's preposterous. It's just as dumb as saying Robert Ory's better than Charles Barkley. Winning titles doesn't mean an individual is better than another individual, nor does it mean necessarily a team is better than another team. How many wins you aggregate and accomplish over the course of many months, that tells me a lot more about a team, because that tells me consistency, able to get up most nights to play, always competitive, winning a lot more than you're losing, beating all kinds of opponents, dealing with injuries. I'm much more impressed by regular season win totals than I am by playoff wins and losses. And like I said, I love the playoffs, and I don't want to take this too far the other way and say they're meaningless. Clearly, these playoffs we've learned some things about Miami. Caleb Barton is much better than we thought he was. Gabe Vincent has matured into a very good player. Duncan Robinson has absolutely added elements to his game. There's things we've seen in this playoffs that will definitely carry forward going forward. So I don't want to sit here and say that the playoffs mean nothing either, because at the end of the day, when you go to the finals, you've played an additional 30-ish games or whatever, 20 something, 30-ish games. That's not nothing either. Like 20-ish games, I guess, not 30, 20-ish games. I guess the maximum would be 30, right? If you played, as in Miami's case, like the maximum could have been 30. But if you played the 2 play-ins and then 3 rounds of 7, well, the first round, the semifinals, the conference finals, and the 4 rounds of 7. That's what I meant to say. I said 3, I meant 4. So theoretically, you could play, if all 4 rounds went 7 and you played the first 2 playing games, you could play a total of 30 potentially. Is the maximum you could ever play. But that's still, less than half of the regular season, and it's against a smaller number of opponents. Now, it's against, ostensibly better opponents. So, like I said, the playoffs tell you things too, but it's just part of the picture. What I'm trying to push back on is this notion that it's the biggest part, or oftentimes perceived as the only part of the picture that matters. How many times have you heard people say, "Oh, the regular season doesn't matter anymore"? That's garbage. Of course, it matters. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We got Rich Monda coming up next. It's the Gary Ayd Show here on The Cave.
Are you like me? You have health insurance, but you don't have dental insurance. Do you need to get to the dentist right away? Maybe you need an implant or some other major service. Well, I found a dental insurance plan that's just right for you. It's called Spirit Dental. Spirit Dental offers a $100 lifetime deductible, a huge network of dentists. And here's the best part. There's no waiting periods. Yeah, that means you can call right now and have real dental insurance for you and your family tomorrow and get that immediate coverage you want. Spirit Dental has plans for just a few dollars a day, up to $5,000 annual maximum, and coverage for implants. Whatever age you are, the dental insurance you need is a free phone call away. Now don't wait, and be sure to ask about Spirit's vision plan. Here's the number: 800-631-9229. 800-631-9229. That's 800-631-9229.
Hey friend, life happens and you need money. What do? You call the special toll-free number we're about to give you. We will send you a link to your phone with details on how you can loan up to $5,000. Couldn't you use $5,000 to pay for your rent, pay grocery bills, get your car repaired, or whatever you need? It's up to you. We don't care. We're just here to lend you the money. And we'll lend people money with good, bad, or no credit at all. Of course, some terms and conditions apply, and you'll see those on the link we're going to send you. So if you need up to $5,000 maybe as soon as the next business day, call this number right now. We will text you a free link with details.
Paid for by Money Mutual. Call 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. That's 800-586-7112.
Coffee lovers, Middletown is now officially home to the home run of our favorite beverage, Days Coffee. Days' patented blend contains approximately 85% less caffeine than other coffees, which makes it better for you, yet unlike decaf coffee, still gives you that great pickup and tastes amazing. Formulated by a retired cancer pathologist, Dr. Grant Lee, Days Coffee is fermented with a patented enzyme that until now required a complex and thus expensive sourcing and production process. With Dr. Lee's formulation, this enzyme's great health benefits can now be brought to your cup quicker, easier, and cheaper than ever before. Here's how you get a hold of this game-changing cup of joe. Go over to radioonlydeals.com for $4
this is it. It's live on the radio.
for just $2. That's radioonlydeals.com to buy your single-use digital gift certificate for Days Coffee. Radioonlydeals.com. That's radioonlydeals.com. Enjoy the preferred coffee of the Gary Ayd Show. Enjoy Days Coffee.
All righty, welcome back to the Gary Ayd Show here on the Cave. It's good to have you aboard, and we are joined now by Rich Monda and his son Mikey. What's going on, Rich? How's it going? Hey, Rich, how's it going?
Gary, how are you today?
There we go. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Everything is fabulous.
Awesome. Good stuff. So today we're going to do a little something different. We're going to be talking some Little League. I know a lot of Smash players are involved. Give me the big picture scoop here, and then we'll talk to your son about his role and involvement.
Yeah, so District 19 Little League, which is, pretty much Orange County, will be kicking their district tournaments off somewhere around June 15th or 16th. The teams range from 10-year-olds up to seniors, which I think is 16-year-olds. And the way the tournament is structured is basically there are teams from all the different towns across Orange County, whether it be Monroe, Newburgh, Washingtonville, Cornwall, etc. Those players will be out there representing their towns and competing against the other towns for the right to take home the district banner. So it's an exciting time for a lot of the kids. And for our kids specifically, we as a travel program will take a pause from our regularly scheduled season. And what's really exciting about it, it's great to watch our kids who are teammates on the Smash go out, compete against each other with, call it Monroe and Newburgh on their chest, and then watch them after the game go over and hug each other. Win or lose, they were all smiling for pictures after the game. So it's a lot of fun to see the boys playing against each other, competing against each other, and representing their towns in the right ways.
Now, are these games played at like the normal places for each town, or are they at like a central neutral site? How is that done?
So typically the games are played at a site that is not affiliated with either team, so a neutral site.
Yeah, okay, that's kind of what I figured. That's awesome. And so obviously your son Mikey here, which we'll talk to in a moment, he's representing Monroe. Who are their first opponents?
Their first opponents were just announced today, but they have a first round bye.
Okay.
So we are going to be waiting for the winner of I think it's Minnesink and Greenwood Lake, and our first game will be on June 16th, so next Friday.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the background info here, Rich. Let's bring Mikey on here and get his take on some things.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Mikey? How's it going?
Good.
So, first of all, congratulations. And I'm curious for you. First of all, what positions do you generally play in baseball?
I play shortstop, I pitch, and I play a little bit of outfield.
Okay, cool. Now, talk to me a little bit about these Little League districts. Have you played in one of these before? Or will this be your first time?
Well, this is like our fourth straight year doing it. Last year we won the district, but it's always fun because you can only lose twice and you're eliminated. So every game is competitive and every game is important. So you have to go out there every time. It's very energetic. And, we usually play well in these things. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's really cool. So it's double elimination. And what what has been the in years past? Do you notice, since you've been to a few of these now, are there towns that are typically good like every year, or is it kind of different each year? Like, what's give me the feel for it.
Well, us in Cornwall are usually pretty good, but then some other teams, like some other teams might be good, and you just, they're not always good. So like Minnesink is pretty good. Some towns they're good, you just don't play them that much, so you don't really know what to expect.
Sure. Now, your dad was telling me a little bit about some of the different Smash players dispersed through the district. How much of a I guess advanced scouting report do you maybe get on a team that you haven't seen in a while, but maybe has one of your Smash teammates on it, so you guys maybe talk about it during Smash practice? How does that happen?
No,
No,
not really.
not really.
No.
Okay.
No.
So what's your what's maybe the biggest thing that makes these tournaments really special? Is it the double elimination? Is it going to like local bragging rights? Like, what to you is the coolest part about it?
Well, like I said, yeah, the double elimination makes it really special because then every game is exciting, and then after the games, it's summer, so you play and then you all go hang out, and you just have a lot of fun with it. And then after you win, you play in different places against different towns, and it's always fun.
Yeah, see, that led me right into my next question, which is how familiar are you with a lot of the fields that you play at during the districts? Are these places that you play at throughout the year, or do you only kind of play at them maybe every once in a while based on who you play in districts in a given year?
Yeah, well, these fields, we haven't really played on them at all this year, but it's not really. It doesn't really matter if we're used to the fields or not, but we don't really play at these fields a lot. So these will be like our first times for both teams really playing on these fields.
How much of an impact or a difference does a new field make? Well, I imagine it's probably not that big of a deal.
No, it's not that big of a deal. You just got to get used to if the infield's like grass is long, the ball's coming hard, ball's coming soft, how much room you have in the outfield, just things like that.
Now, I know the like in Major League Baseball, if you're on the Yankees, it's always extra special to beat the Red Sox. If you're on the Dodgers, it's always nice to beat the Giants. Is there a town that you, as a Monroe kid, like to gives you special satisfaction to beat, or a town rival?
Cornwall.
There you go. I don't like we had a rivalry with Cornwall too. I went to Goshen. Our rivalry was more in soccer when I was there, but yeah, okay, Cornwall. There you go. Yeah, Monroe and Cornwall go at each other in football too, and yeah, that makes total sense. Last thing for you, what's just I know you play a lot of different positions and whatnot. Do you have a preference of pitching versus hitting? I'm just curious your favorite part of the sport.
Well, I like hitting the most just because that's where you make a big impact for your team. You get to get on base and steal bases and do things like that. But, pitching is cool too. But I'd rather hit. Hitting is more fun to me.
There you go. Well, hey, congratulations. Good luck this year, and keep us up to date on how the districts go, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Rich, thanks. Mikey, thank you very much. You guys have a good one. We appreciate it. Good stuff from Rich and Mikey Monda there, talking district sports, district Little League. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. Breaking news. A major player has been cut. We'll tell you who that is next. The Gary Ayd Show, back in 60 seconds here on The Cave.
Coffee Lovers Middletown is now officially home to the home run of our favorite beverage, Days Coffee. Days' patented blend contains approximately 85% less caffeine than other coffees, which makes it better for you, yet unlike decaf coffee, still gives you that great pickup and tastes amazing. Formulated by a retired cancer pathologist, Dr. Grant Lee, Days Coffee is fermented with a patented enzyme that until now required a complex and thus expensive sourcing and production process. With Dr. Lee's formulation, this enzyme's great health benefits can now be brought to your cup quicker, easier, and cheaper than ever before. Here's how you get a hold of this game-changing cup of joe. Go over to radioonlydeals.com and get a $4 gift certificate to Days Coffee for just $2. That's radioonlydeals.com to buy your single-use digital gift certificate for Days Coffee. radioonlydeals.com. That's radioonlydeals.com. Enjoy the preferred coffee of the Gary Ayd Show. Enjoy Days Coffee.
All righty, we're back here on the Gary Ayd Show here on the Cave, and we have another special guest joining us right now from the OC Bombers. This time we're speaking with Charlotte Rivera from the Bombers, as I mentioned, coming off a really good week last week. Great plays in center field, 5 of 12 from the plate, 500 on base percentage, 3 stolen bases. Really had a great week last week. And she's part of the 14U squad. We're happy to have her on board. What's up, Charlotte? How you doing? There we go. All right. I always forget to hit the button. What's up, Charlotte? How's it going?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, sorry about that. So, congratulations, first of all, last week on really a great week. How long have you been playing softball?
Thank you. I've only been playing since I was in 7th grade, so around like 2 years.
Oh, wow. So you're a latecomer to the game. Did you play other sports when you were younger before starting softball?
I used to play soccer, and that's really it.
So
and I played volleyball.
Oh, I love volleyball. So what got you into softball? What made you jump on the sport, later on?
I was kind of just bored, and a lot of my friends did it, so I thought I'd try it out.
And was it something that clearly you had a great week this past week? Was it a sport that once you first started, did you feel like it came like pretty naturally to you, or do you really have to work at it to get good?
I feel like it came pretty natural to me.
Yeah. That's awesome. What positions do you generally play? I know obviously center field. Do you play other positions as well?
Yeah, I also play second and third.
Do you have a preference among the three?
I actually really enjoy center.
Yeah, a lot of room to roam out there.
Yeah.
What's it like have you ever like moved positions mid-game from like the infield to the outfield or the other way around?
Yeah, I've moved from second to third before, and then, yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, so you've never gone from like center to the infield or the infield to the outfield in the same game?
No.
Okay, that would be. I was gonna say that would be very strange. That would be
Yeah.
kind of weird. What's your favorite part about the sport? Is it the fielding? Is it the hitting? Is it maybe the base running? Maybe something off the field? Like, what's your favorite part about it since you've been playing?
I enjoy the hitting. I think that's really exciting and making like the big plays in the field.
Yeah. It's funny about hitting. It's often described as the hardest thing to do in sports, but yet it's everyone's favorite part of it. It just shows that us athletes were nuts because we just like we like a challenge.
Yeah.
Because it really is. It's the hardest thing you can do. I mean, it's like the old saying is, if you fail 7 out of 10 times, you're great. It's the only thing in life that's like that, basically. When you first started playing softball, did you go right to the Bombers, or when did you first start playing with the Bombers?
I started playing with the Bombers this summer, actually, and last summer I used to play with the Angels.
Okay. And so have you played like any town ball or little league or anything of that nature?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What's been the part of the game? I know you said the game has come sort of naturally to you, which is great. Where do you find yourself spending the most time working, though, in terms of an area of the game that maybe you spend a little more time trying to develop than others?
Definitely my hitting.
Now, are you a right-handed hitter?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your approach at the plate? Are you trying to just make contact? Are you trying to put the ball kind of where it's pitched? Are you trying to hit with power? Like, what's your general approach?
I'm just going for a base hit.
Okay, so just hit the ball wherever you can, wherever there's a hole, basically.
Yeah.
Do you are you a believer in going after the first pitch, or if you're up 3-0 in a count, will you swing, or are you always just like waiting for them to throw that first strike?
I usually go for the first strikes, but in a 3-0 count, I just wait.
You just wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last couple of things. What's the biggest difference to you between some of the other places you've played in these first few years you've been with the sport and the Bombers? What makes the Bombers, I guess, different to you?
You play people from all over the place.
Have you met people that you've become friends with from places that you otherwise wouldn't have met them, like other towns or
Yeah,
whatever?
I've met people from all over the place, and I've just made a lot of new friends playing this sport with the Bombers.
That's really cool. Do you come across people that maybe you've played against before at other times, or like
No, not really.
no? Any teammates with the Bombers that you've played with before joining the club?
Yeah.
Yeah. Last question. Where do you what's your goal with softball now? You've been playing for a few years. You've obviously had some success. Are you hoping to maybe go to college and play in college?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, best of luck with it. When's your next game or tournament?
I have a tournament this weekend in Beacon.
All right. Well, have fun. Keep the good hitting up and best of luck with it. Okay. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All righty. That is Charlotte Rivera. This is the Gary Ayd Show. Back after this here on The Cave.
Are you like me? You have health insurance, but you don't have dental insurance. Do you need to get to the dentist right away? Maybe you need an implant or some other major service. Well, I found a dental insurance plan that's just right for you. It's called Spirit Dental. Spirit Dental offers a $100 lifetime deductible, a huge network of dentists. And here's the best part. There's no waiting periods. Yeah, that means you can call right now and have real dental insurance for you and your family tomorrow and get that immediate coverage you want. Spirit Dental has plans for just a few dollars a day, up to $5,000 annual maximum, and coverage for implants. Whatever age you are, the dental insurance you need is a free phone call away. Now don't wait, and be sure to ask about Spirit's vision plan. Here's the number: 800-631-9229. 800-631-9229. That's 800-631-9229.
Hey friend, life happens and you need money. What do? You call the special toll-free number we're about to give you. We will send you a link to your phone with details on how you can loan up to $5,000. Couldn't you use $5,000 to pay for your rent, pay grocery bills, get your car repaired, or whatever you need? It's up to you. We don't care. We're just here to lend you the money. And we'll lend people money with good, bad, or no credit at all. Of course, some terms and conditions apply, and you'll see those on the link we're going to send you. So if you need up to $5,000 maybe as soon as the next business day, call this number right now. We will text you a free link with details.
Paid for by Money Mutual. Call 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. That's 800-586-7112.
Huge breaking news. Moments ago, it was announced by the Phoenix Suns that they have waived future Hall of Famer Chris Paul. He is now a free agent and will be free to sign with any team he chooses. We know this is going to be obviously a big talking point over the next 24 to 48 hours, maybe longer. Depends how long he wants to drag this out. And you know the Lakers are going to come up. You know the Knicks are going to come up. But let's get ahead of the hype. Let's get ahead of the hysteria. Let's get ahead of the sizzle. Where do you really think he makes a difference? And how can he? What's the best way for him to make a difference? Because this idea that he makes you a championship contending team just isn't true. By the basis of his entire career, which is basically complete by this point, that's not the case. So the question is, what type of team would benefit from Chris Paul the most? And would that type of team be of interest to him? Because it's my opinion that the best value Chris Paul can bring is to a team that is coming off a bad year, that has a young, impressionable roster that needs some veteran stability, production, and tutelage. To me, that team is Detroit. And this would be the least sexy thing in the world to say. Detroit? Yeah, Detroit. Now, understand, and as I usually tackle these things, I tell you what I think makes sense and what I would be looking at if I was an executive, not what I think's going to happen. If you say, do I think Chris Paul's going to the Pistons? Absolutely not. No chance. But if the question is, where do I think he helps the most? It's on a team that has room to grow, is devoid of any type of veteran stability and leadership, and needs stable, solid production and coaching on-court coaching to bring along talented players. And Detroit fits that mold. Cade Cunningham, to me, had a bad year last year, injuries and whatnot. But I think he has the potential to be a great player. I really do. I think that another place you could look at, and I know Dylan's gonna love this, would be Indiana. He would be a backup there. Tyrese Halliburton doesn't need a lot of help, but having that stability there and that veteran leadership to kind of take it to the next level would probably be good. I could see him very easily in San Antonio. He might have a bigger on-court role there than he would elsewhere because San Antonio, they need players. They're going to have Wembanyama, and they're going to need assistance in growing that roster around him, and then not only that, but of course developing him. And of course, there is some history there with Popovich and whatnot. So that makes some sense. The Lakers don't make sense to me. The Knicks make a little bit of sense. They don't really have a backup. And in fact, other than the fact they would make for a terrible defensive backcourt and no size whatsoever, pairing him and Brunson in the backcourt offensively anyway would be not necessarily a duplication of skills, but you would have just a horrific defensive backcourt. Thibodeau's not going to go for that. But the team that makes the most sense to me is Detroit and San Antonio. Those two teams. Never going to happen. I know that. But that's where I would be looking. That would be the teams that I think, because Chris Paul is not a winner. He's not a guy that changes the direction of a franchise. Certainly not now. I don't think he ever really was, but certainly not now. To me, he is a competent starter or a really good backup, but his true value is teaching the professional lifestyle and work ethic and rhythms and flows to a young, talented player. That's where he brings value. I don't think he helps the Lakers at all. They don't need a ball handler. They don't need another veteran. They don't need to teach anyone anything. It doesn't help them. I would rather see the Lakers go after another wing or another big man to augment Davis. I don't think Chris Paul helps them. But rest assured, that's where the talk's going to go. And there's a pretty good chance he signs there because we know the friendship between him and LeBron James. So we know that that's there. So that's an interesting way to end the show today. Chris Paul released by the Phoenix Suns. Things are changing, man. Sheba came in and he is cleaning house. Gone is Monty Williams. That was a mistake. Released now, Chris Paul. I don't think that's a mistake. But it does beg the question, where is this franchise going? You got Kevin Durant, at least for now. He's not a spring chicken either. You got Devin Booker. And you got DeAndre Ayton. Where else are you going? How are you building this roster? There's a lot of questions there. I don't love that trio even by itself, but I like even less the rest of that roster. That is a bad roster with a lot of holes. And you have to ask the question, where are you taking it? Where are you going with it? What is your plan? I don't know. I'll tell you this, as they stand, Phoenix to me is not one of the 3 best teams in the Western Conference. 3 best teams in the Western Conference right now to me are Denver, probably Memphis, although we'll see what happens with Morant. The Lakers, the Clippers, so that's 4. I would put the Suns maybe 6th. I mean, right now, if I was about to pick my favorite team for the next several years, and my choices were in the Western Conference, and I was picking based off of just what I think is going to happen and who I think is going to be good the next couple of years, I think the Suns would be like my 6th pick. Definitely take the Nuggets. Definitely take the Grizzlies. I know the Morant suspension is forthcoming, but they're young and they're likely to stay good. Unless something totally goes off the rails with Durant, which I guess is possible. But I go take the Grizzlies. I like the Lakers better right now. They're not young. They might fall apart just as easily as the Suns. But I like them right now, apples to apples. Probably take the Warriors again right now. And I'd probably even go with a team like maybe even Minnesota. I mean, I just don't like this Phoenix team much at all. I don't think much of Kevin Durant as a leader. I never have. I don't think much of Devin Booker as a leader. There's no reason to. He's never proven anything in that capacity. DeAndre Ayton's clearly not a leader. I mean, this team doesn't have a leader. And now they got a new coach. It's Frank Vogel. Excellent coach. Big fan of his coaching. It's a credit to the organization. But they got to build a roster. All right, well, that does it for us. We'll be back tomorrow. We will see you then. This is the Gary Ayd Show here on The Cave.